Welcome, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Straight Talk with Joe Vollano. It's only been 3 days, and it feels like it's been like 2 months with everything that is going on in the city, in the state, in the country. It feels like a whole nother country right now. Feels like a whole nother state. It has gotten absolutely ridiculous. So, like I said in the promo, I hope the kids are in bed because this is probably going to get a little crazy over the next hour or so of this show. It's so hard to even find out where to start, but how about if we start here? I'm Joe Vollano, and I am your host and your guiding light. I don't like to pat myself on the back, but I'm going to, because just 3 days ago, I told you how well I know liberals, and I told you when that new survey came out. I told you my opinion or my theory on where it came from. It is in. I know where it came from. And we're going to go over what I said, and then I'm going to tell you where it's actually coming from. And again, I am not shocked. Like I said, I know these people better than they know themselves. So we'll go over that, and we'll talk about what their plans are. And if you're paying attention, and if you have been paying attention over the years, you know exactly what they're trying to do, and you know what the end game is. And I know what the end game is. I'm going to go over the end game with you because they spelled it out for us last February in 2020, what their end game was. So we are going to talk all about this tonight. But, this show only works best when you guys are involved in it. So by all means, if you want, give us a call, 203-697-9610, or you could email us, straighttalkjv@gmail.com. Again, I always love enjoying listening to you guys and hearing from you, and have some good discussion. So it's always a good time when you guys call in. So again, 203-697-9610, or you can email us, straighttalkjv@gmail.com. We'll try to get through some of the emails that we've been getting on some of these subjects, and some of the questions. So if we have time, we'll get to that too. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been saying this for years. This whole political correctness thing is absolutely driving this country into the ground. I don't know when all these snowflakes, these safe space babies, have gotten the power to turn this country into what was once the greatest country in the world, as far as, not worrying about identity politics. Everybody wanted to just live a normal life. But now all of a sudden, everything is, this one's offended, that one's offended. Well, do you know what? Tough shit. Be offended. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being offended. Being offended means that you're having honorable and discussions that really are on uncomfortable things. You cannot risk not offending someone to not put your ideas out there. If we worried about just offending someone, nobody would say anything. The sound of silence is what you would get. We talked about that song a month ago. The sound of silence. That's real. That they made that song back in the 60s or 70s, when Vietnam and everything else was going on. And everybody was afraid to say anything. History is repeating itself. History always repeats itself. It's whether or not you understand our history to learn what's coming. And this is what's coming. This political correctness is what's destroying this country, what's destroying this state, and what is most certainly destroying this city. It is absolutely ridiculous. But the problem back in the day is that it was the citizens leading the charge. In our city, it's the politicians looking to divide. It's the politicians themselves, the people that are supposed to be leading this city, that are supposed to be representing you, that are destroying this beautiful city. A city where 15 years ago, I was proud to come to. I was proud to come here. Now I look at it and go, what the fuck is going on? And how did we allow this to happen? Everything that is going on is our fault. Because we elected these politicians. You might not have voted for them, but as a city, we elected them. And that's on us. We have failed. We have failed. But it's not too late. It is not too late. We can still turn this around. And we do that in November. Because if we don't make serious change in November, that's it. End game. End game. We were in the bottom of the ninth, and we are up to bat. We are up to bat. And we need to hit a home run. Or we lose this city. In 2022, we lose this country. If we don't make changes. We have an awful lot to discuss tonight. An awful lot to discuss tonight. And if anybody read the papers today, they saw an article about a new committee, a new initiative that is taking place here in Meriden. It's called the Meriden Racial Justice Initiative. And it says, and this is in their own statement, it's an alliance of nonprofit, government, business, and faith community members dedicated to making Meriden a more welcoming, inclusive, and equitable community. That's their mission statement. And it's comprised of city leaders, which we're going to get into, which ones they are, and nonprofits. Now, if anybody remembers on Thursday, we talked about a new survey circulating around. And the first 4 questions are about the police department and your neighborhoods, and the rest of them are about money and your identity politics of it. And I said it's very interesting to me because I know it didn't come from the city itself because the Use of Force Committee said it wasn't anything of theirs. And I made a prediction, or I made a theory on where I thought it was coming from. And I said it was coming from nonprofits. And I said it was coming from worried Democrats. Well, guess what? Guess who put it out? These idiots put it out. A combination of nonprofit, business, and businesses, and faith communities. All the people we talked about. Now, like I said, I don't love to pat myself on the back, but Jesus Christ, I know who the fuck you are. I knew exactly what was going on here. And I spelled it out. And I was 110% accurate on it. They are scared about what is going on in this city. They're worried, and they should. They should be worried. But the city is now getting in bed with this social justice crap. The city is actually getting in bed with them now. This council, and I don't want to say the whole city, but your leaders, your Democratic leaders are getting in bed with these guys. Of course, the all crazy Sonia Jelks, the majority leader, she's heading this. She's all for it. And she'll be speaking at their event come on Wednesday. This isn't about what's best for Meriden anymore. They had, honestly, I'm going to say it, Sonia Jelks, people like Sonia Jelks and the Democrats like Cortez, they are declaring war on Meriden citizens. They're claiming, they're really launching racial war on Meriden citizens. I don't know why. I don't know what they think the gang at is, but I do. I do, because we're gonna go through exactly what they want. Because, like I said, I knew this game plan a year and a half ago, and I called it a year and a half ago. Back last February, and I had to go back and pull it up. They actually outlined what they wanted the city to do, and now that Sonia Jelks has leadership and she runs the council, she is planning to put every one of those steps into action. And I'm going to go over that article because all of this ties in together. And the end game is not a pretty one if you are a citizen of Meriden. It is not a pretty one if you are a police officer in the city of Meriden. It is absolutely crazy. We're going to get into even some of the public safety stuff on what just came in. I saw in the AP launched by the AP for Connecticut, where what police officers are allowed and not allowed to do now. This country, this state, and this city, unless we do something about it, ladies and gentlemen, is fucked. There's no other way of putting it. There's no light way of putting it. Like I said, put the kids to bed. Because this is not for them. We're going to talk about some real shit here tonight that you better really turn around and wake up and realize what's going on and stand up. Because if you don't, you are screwed. And I don't want to hear, come December, come January, oh, well, I should have done this, I should have done that. We could have done this, we could have done that. This is a wake-up call. This is, I can't put this any more clearly on what this is. This is a wake-up call. This is a call to action right now. Because they have declared war on us. And I will call it right back on them. So let's talk about this group. And the RJ had a nice little article on them today. And of course, who's on the front of it? Now, I've only listened to her once. And Ms. Cortez is on this, who is a councilwoman for Area 1. Sonia Jelks, of course, is all part of this. But here's their statements on what they're looking to do. Excuse me. The goal is to identify issues facing minorities and find solutions. And like I said, this is a group of, again, and this is another thing that I'm having an issue with because some of this isn't even correct. So in the article it says, he decided to join the new Meriden Racial Justice Initiative, a group of individuals, including members of the fire and police departments. I like to know who they are. And if they're getting paid while they're doing this, city council, which I talked to Republicans today, Republicans have no idea what they're talking about. So I like to know, of course, I know Cortez and Jelks are part of this. They're on the city council. The school board, I talked to the school board today. They have no idea what they're talking about. Nonprofit organizations and others. So we already knew nonprofits because, listen, like I said last show, they are dependent on Democrats holding power in this city, in this state, and in this country so that they can make money. The goal is to identify issues facing minorities and find solutions. I always thought that city employees are supposed to be working to find solutions for everybody. I'm sorry, when you won your seat at city council, is it just minorities that elected you? Are you turning your back on everybody else? Because I don't know anything. I don't know any issue in this city where minorities are somehow ostracized, discriminated against. Where? If you have one, show me, because you've run this fucking city for 30, 35 years. So that means if it's a policy you created as a Democrat. It's a policy you created as a voter voting for these people. So if we're having issues in the city, who's to blame? It certainly the hell ain't Republicans. So one of the members, Sue Murphy, said, the group is already starting equity training and now wants to help people understand that individuals experience the world in different ways. Well, no shit. I experience it different than you are. You may experience things differently than me. And that's good. That's good as long as we can have a conversation about it. You don't need a group to do that. You don't need a group to do that. The goal is to have working groups meet in fall. Members having, they're going to have a press conference. Like I said, they're having a press conference Wednesday, 10 o'clock. Really, it's a rally. It's a rally against landlords. And so, I don't even know what vaccine inequality means. Have no idea what that even friggin' means. So if you guys know what that means, please, by all means, let me know. Because I don't know. I didn't know vaccines were prejudiced against one culture or the other than the next. I have no idea. So I guess we're going to find something out new on Wednesday. So Ms. Cortez, a member of the city council, is also part of this initiative. Of course she is. She's a hardcore leftist who represents Area 1, where nobody votes. 910 people vote the whole friggin' district. Improving racial justice is the main reason I joined the city council. I think Ms. Cortez has to come on the show and explain to us how there is any racial justice needed. Where does she see the people of color is being ostracized or being discriminated against? Racial justice initiative is something I'm very passionate about. Of course you are. Of course you are, because you're a hardcore liberal. But here's the part that really kicks you right in the nuts. Ready? All city departments need to view their work through the lens of racial justice. How? How are all departments going to view their work through the lens of racial justice? If they're not black, they're not black. I'm sorry. If they're not white, they're not white. They're not going to understand it. Every single race sees things differently. Every individual sees things differently. It's absolutely crazy to me. They have some serious problems. This is the problem with this whole racial justice bullshit. You're trying to do the impossible. So basically what they're saying is they want you to see things their way, and if you don't, you're a racist. Well, you already know what I say about that. When you say that to me, I say, go fuck yourself. That's what I say. Because I'm sorry, I'm not going for that crap. I am not falling for that crap. So here's her example. For example, where the city plans to build parks and how they're maintained. A lot of parents in her district don't have cars. I'm sorry, Ms. Cortez. Last time I checked in Area 1, you had about 10, if not more, parks, all within walking distance. And if they don't have a car, ride a bike, take the bus. I remember my mother I remember my mother taking 5 kids on the bus if we wanted to go somewhere. But that's unheard of. That's unheard of these days. You can't do that. You can't inconvenience the citizens. Even though there is a park within walking distance anywhere in this city. Do we have parks within walking distance? Are there parks? I love these. She continued. Do we have parks that are within walking distance? Yes. Are those parks safe? Are they clean? Are they meeting the needs of the kids in the community? Let's go through those, Ms. Cortez, because I think they're very important. Are those parks safe? You tell me. You have gangbangers all over the friggin' city. You have kids who don't have to worry about police coming after them because, as we're going to talk about later on, they can't come after them anymore. So we're going to talk about that too. So are those parks safe? I got an idea. Ms. Cortez, I'm talking to you right now because this is your concern. Are you doing what you need to do as a representative of those people to make sure their parks are safe? Are you taking the steps necessary to talk to the police department, to Mr. Cardona, who is the Public Safety Committee chair? Are you doing what you are supposed to do, Ms. Cortez, as their representative, to make sure the parks are safe by making sure the police have what they need to do their jobs? Do you take the initiative to reach out to the police department and make sure that we don't have needles and we don't have drugs sitting in our parks? Are you going to take that commitment? Or are you just here to try to make political points and score political points for your base who are just so far out of their fucking minds that they don't care? They don't care if their parks are safe. You don't care if their parks are safe. If you did, you would be doing half of what's going on to the police department. So that's my question to you, Ms. Cortez, and you're more than welcome to call into this show and let me know those thoughts. You are more than welcome to sit on the other side of this table and we can have a discussion. Call us. I'll even let you go on video because I know how much you love Zoom meetings. I know how much you love Zoom meetings and you are scared to come back into public, but you're going to go down to the park. You're going to go down to the green on Wednesday, aren't you? I'm sure you are. I know my cameras will be there because I can't wait to hear this. Are the parks clean? Mr. City Manager. Mr. City Manager, I'm glad you're going to be there on Wednesday. Maybe you could talk about that. Are they clean? Are you holding your department heads accountable? I know you're not because we have a fucking mess down in dispatch. So I already know you're not checking up on people. You're not taking the initiative to sit there and make sure people are held accountable. So are they clean? Are you reaching out to the Parks Department to make sure they're clean? I bet that green's going to be clean for when you go down there, isn't it? What about these other parks in the city? And then I'm also going to put it on the people. If you're going to those parks, clean it up while you're there. There are a lot of people that do a lot of cleaning up at the parks for volunteer work. It is absolutely crazy. Are they meeting the needs of the kids in the community? You tell me. We have plenty of parks. Maybe they're not meeting the needs of the community, maybe because they're not safe and they're not clean. Maybe you should go check on that. That's your job. I'm going to give you that little task. So maybe on Thursday, you'll come on after the mayor and you'll let us know where we stand on those. So you could go to the parks and make sure they're within walking distance, make sure they're safe and they're clean. And then you could come and let us know. Because her long-term goal is that racial justice is talked about and is thought about and is a priority focus of all of our leaders in the city. I got an idea. My long-term goal is to make sure every citizen and every taxpayer is taken care of. Doesn't matter what race or ethnicity you are. That should be your freaking priorities also. That should be your long-term goal also. not playing identity politics here. It's ridiculous. We allow these representatives of ours to sit out there and talk like this. And you're going to vote this fucking lady back into office? Are you crazy? You have to be absolutely out of your mind if this is what you guys want back in office. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy what is going on in this city right now. Now, people may think I'm getting a little bit too upset here, but I don't think so, because I don't think most people understand what is going on here. Or maybe they don't know the seriousness of it. When you let this type of stuff go unchecked, this is serious stuff. And people better take action here. This is serious. But it didn't stop there, though. The idiocy didn't stop there. We have another idiot up. And she happens to be a state rep. Our good friend Hilda Santiago. She feels the size of Latino population is not represented enough in the city workforce. The lack of representation of the Latin community has always been a problem in Meriden. If I remember correctly, ma'am, you were a city councilor here. Last time I checked, you are a state rep here. So what do you expect us to do? Just hire people based on just the color of their skin or their ethnicity? But other minority groups, she said, are experiencing the same issue. She also feels young people need to be better educated about the history of the people of color. Really? Really? You gotta be a real fucking moron to sit there and say that. You really do. What is wrong with you? These are the people that are supposed to represent us? What is going on here? She feels young people need to be better educated about the history of the people of color. They don't even know how to fucking read and write. I have a story in the stack of stuff here where Oregon is suspending the graduation requirements. You don't even have to learn. You don't even have to know how to read or write or do math to graduate in Oregon now. And that seems to be a trend going around the friggin' country. Because minorities shouldn't be looked at the same way. If that's not the most racist shit I've ever heard, and the most insulting thing I've ever heard, I don't know about you guys. I'd be insulted. If I was living in Oregon right now, and my representative turned around and said, well, no, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. It's because you're black or you're Hispanic that you don't know how to read, write, or do math. We're going to graduate you anyways because it's going to make us feel better about ourselves. If that is not the most racist thing I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is. And like I said, if I was black or Hispanic, I'd be fucking insulted. As to what? I'm not good enough? This is where liberals go wrong. Liberals want you to be a victim. You are not a victim. You do not live in this country in this day of age and be a victim. You have every opportunity to better yourself, to do what you want to do in life. If you don't seize that opportunity, that's not on anybody else but yourself. See, there's the problem that people don't want to take personal responsibility for anything in their lives anymore. You're always a victim. You are not a victim. If anything, you are a victim of your own stupidity. That's what you're a victim of. But this city council at least the Democrats on it, are dead set on making this false narrative the reality here in Meriden. And as I said, it is a false narrative. It is not. We do not have a racial problem in this city right now. We do not have an equality problem in this city right now. We don't. But they are sure as hell bent on making one. That is their goal. That is their goal. They are going to make racial inequality in this city. They're going to try to put a divide between everybody based on race in this city. That's their goal. That is what they're working on doing. It is absolutely crazy to me. But let's look at this lineup that they have coming up here on Wednesday. Remember, it's Wednesday at 10 a.m. down at the amphitheater, down at the Green. So make sure if you are free to make sure you go down there, because I'm going to be down there. I can't wait to take my cameras down there and get all of this on videotape. And then we could sit there and go over this on Thursday, where the mayor is tentatively scheduled to be on the show. Whether or not he comes on afterwards, I guess that's going to be up to him. We'll see how it goes. But let's look at who's going to be speaking. Tim Kuhn, Meriden City Manager. What the hell is Tim Kuhn going on there for? What does he have to talk about? Because here's the two things that they're going to be discussing, topics of discussion: eviction protection and vaccine equality. Which I still don't even know what the fuck it means. Because last time I checked, anybody could get the vaccine, and it's like 6 different places here in the city. Hell, you could have a party of 6 people or more, and they'll come to you and give you the vaccine. So to sit there and say somehow there's vaccine inequality, I don't know what they're talking about. It doesn't make any sense. And eviction prevention? Listen, what about the landlords? What about the taxpayers who are losing their house? We talked about it on Thursday. What about them who are losing their house because their tenants aren't paying their rent? We talked about the extra money they were getting on their unemployment, both federal and state, the increase they were getting from their welfare checks just to pay for rent. But they weren't paying for their rent. They were pocketing the money or spending it on something useless. They're paying for it. They're not using it for what it was protected for. There are no protections for landlords. No one cares about the landlords. Screw the landlords. But we're going to get this whole thing together so we can tell people how to protect themselves from being evicted. So, but Tim Kuhn is going to be the first person. They're going to be the first person. Tim Kuhn is up. Meriden City Manager. He doesn't even have enough fucking time to be worrying about the dispatch center in the crisis mode, but he's going to come down here at 10 a.m. to talk about, I have no friggin' idea what he's going to talk about. There's no point of him being there. I'd rather have him up at City Hall doing his fucking job. That's where I want him. That's where I want him. I want him doing his job. Not down there doing political shit. Because that's what it is. Lee Crown, Director of Meriden Health and Human Services. Bring your vaccine down there with you, madam. Bring your vaccine. Bring your vaccine. Maybe there's a few people there that need to be vaccinated, that want to be vaccinated. Donna Torito, Director of New Opportunities. Again, one of these nonprofits that they need Democrats in control. They need the state Democrats in control. That's where they get all their money from. New Opportunities dies without Democrats, without liberals, and their grant money. Ray Highsmith. I know her. Great lady. I have no idea what she's going to be talking about. Community specialist for Hartford Healthcare. What are we going to be talking about? because she can't talk about eviction prevention. Maybe she could explain to me what vaccine equality is. Sonia Jelks, the craziest one out of the whole fucking bunch. The majority city council leader. What is she going to be talking about? What is she going to be talking about? White people are bad. Minorities are good. That's all she says every time. That's all she says. Maybe she'll have the bobblehead sitting next to her. Tomasetti. Because she usually like the little doggy that follows behind. Maybe she's going to be there. And she'll be the white token to be like, yes, we are wrong. We are wrong. We are wrong. It's all our fault. Dawn Parker, director of Unite Connecticut, who make a ton of friggin' money off of the evictions. They make a ton of money. They run the Connecticut Department of Housing grant money that's been funded by the U.S. Treasury. I believe it's $253 million they're in control of. So, of course, they want it. And this one cracks me up. Michael Rohde, who's director of community relations for community health. If that's not a joke, that's not a joke in itself. Michael Rohde's a joke. Then he's the director of community relations. Remember when we talked about how all these people have all these great cushion jobs, especially on the council, how they all intertwine with each other? You have LaRue Graham, who runs the Boys and Girls Club, who he's on the same committee of the same people that actually administer the grants that he would be part of, which is a huge conflict of interest. And then, of course, he just brought on Crystal Blake, who happens to be another councilwoman in Area 3, who he just brought on to the Boys and Girls Club as assistant executive director. You have Michael Rohde, who's director of community relations. Is there any liberal on this council that doesn't have their hands in the fucking pocket of the city and the taxpayer? One way or another? No, there's not. And people wonder why people like me sit up here and question it. Like, what the hell is going on? You notice no Republicans, no we the people, have anything to do with the city, other than they were elected by the people to represent them. But every single liberal is either part of a nonprofit. Even Sonia Jelks is part of a nonprofit for the state that benefits off of grants, which they administer. People, follow the friggin' money. I say it all the time. And then you have the mayor, Mr. Scarpetti. What the hell is he going to talk about? He has no power in the city. What is he going to talk about? Is he going to, I mean, he's supposed to be an ambassador for the city. Is he going to be the one going up there saying, Meriden is great. Meriden is awesome. Meriden is a place you want to come to. No, he's going to be forced to sit up there saying, we have a racial fucking problem here. I told you, this is the first time in history I've ever seen a leadership of a city put down their city. These people are hell-bent on putting a perception of Meriden that is not a good one. This is the first time in history, and I've never seen it happen. And I'm hoping this is the last time I've ever seen it happen. Because these people, Sonia Jelks, is putting a perception as majority leader that this city is horrible. We have racial problems. We have police brutality problems. We have all this shit going on. But yeah, come here. Bring your business here. Bring your business here. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. The crime? Just a couple of people shooting it out. Don't worry about it. It's downtown. Don't worry about it. We'll put you on the east side or the west side. Don't worry about it. All good. We live in a fucked up time. We really, really do. And it's really, really starting to piss me off more than you'll ever know. So, Mr. Scarpelli, what are you going to talk about? I'm interested. And then I'm very interested when what you're going to say here on Thursday to all of you. Because I tell you what, Mr. Scarpelli, I'll tell you this. If you think that you're going to sit there and patronize these people, you're out of your mind. If you think you're going to go to this event, and down talk this city, down talk any part of this population, you're better off canceling our friggin' interview on Thursday for your own benefit. Because I swear I will bury you with your own fucking comments. So I make sure every one of you choose your words very carefully on Wednesday, because they are going to be played back over and over and over and over again. I guarantee it. I guarantee you I will buy enough ad space that every single person in Meriden will hear your comments. I don't care if I have to buy a billboard and just do them in repetition of all your comments and let the people read them. I swear to God, I will bury each and every one of you who badmouth this city, badmouth any part of this community. Ridiculous. There is nothing you could talk about on this event with this group that is going to be positive for Meriden. I am at a loss of words on how stupid this shit is. But I tell you what, I look forward to hearing them. I look forward because my cameras will be dead center, right in front. And I won't miss a word. I can't wait. I look forward to it. Hell, I've taken the day off for it. I might even picnic out there. You guys are more than welcome to join me. If you're free on Wednesday, 10 a.m. on the green, by all means, please come join me. No, I don't want to blast anything. I don't want to blast anything. I want to hear every word they have to say. I will be sitting there listening to every single word. This is craziness. But like I said at the beginning, we have allowed this to happen. We have allowed this to happen. Because their end goal is not the end here. This is just their coming out party. This little event is just their coming out party. You heard what they want to do. We need to get white people out of city government. We need to get white people out of the city, out of city workers. City workers, if you're white, your job, they're coming for it. I'm sorry. You just don't fit the mold anymore. You don't fit their idea of what the city should be. So if you're a city worker in the city of Meriden, you've been put on notice. You've now been put on notice. Changes need to be made. And some people just need to be sacrificed. There's collateral damage in every war. So white city workers, you have now been put on notice. They're coming for your job. So be ready. And when you lose it, don't sit there and say, I didn't tell you so. So those unions, your unions better get ready. Because I'm sure people like Sonia Jelks and Ms. Cortez and Mr. Kuhn are going to start being real strict with you guys. So make sure if you see inequalities and racial discrimination against yourself, make sure you file a grievance. Make sure you bring it forward. Because I'm sure they're coming. But like I said, this whole thing has meaning to what they're doing. And if anyone remembers an article, and I remembered it Back in February 12th of 2020, if you guys have the Record Journal, I suggest you all go back there and read this article again. It was February 12th, 2020. That's right. That's how good my friggin' memory is, ladies and gentlemen. My memory is that good. So in case you don't know, I remember everything. So this is an article that came out, and Matt wrote it back the day when he was here. And this is when they were trying to get a resolution. This is when they were trying to get a resolution for the public to stand against racial discrimination. But city officials acknowledge that actions, ladies and gentlemen, speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Well, action's now coming. Actions are coming. The resolution currently lists 8 action items and leaves the door open for more in the future. Oh, God, I love my fucking memory. So what were those 8 things? Let's go through them. Let's go through those 8 things. The mayor and the city council would take a new oath of office. That's right. Out with the old, in with the new. Political correctness. So the new oath of office would include a commitment to support racial equality. Again, I want equality for everybody. Fuck your race. Who cares about your race? Only racists care about race. But that's what these people are. They are racist. They don't like when you call them that because that's for them to call us. They don't like being called back. But they are racist, so I'm going to call them what they are. Ms. Jelks, Ms. Cortez are being racist. And anyone who goes and speaks against any part of the community based on race is a racist. That's the definition of it. The makeup, it was a good question. So Tom asked, what's the actual racial makeup of the city? It's up here, buddy. 68%. 68% is white. I believe a 13 point something is black, and it was 20 something percent Hispanic. They can deny it all they want. So the mayor and the council would develop standards for assessing the racial impact of council resolutions prior to passage. So let's get this straight here, because I wish I was around to talk about this back last year. I wish we had the show going back then, but we don't. But we do now, so I guess it's just as beneficial. The mayor and the council would develop standards for assessing the racial impact of council resolutions prior to passage. Now, racial impact for who? Again, here's the problems you have with that. It's racist just on its principle. So if it's beneficial to blacks or Hispanics, it's okay. If it's beneficial to whites, forget it. It's no longer good. Is that what we're talking about here? Or is it because if it's beneficial to blacks and Hispanics, it's no good? If it's beneficial to whites, it's okay. I mean, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? So then again, you're not going based off of facts, because the racial impact and trying to create standards is all superficial. It's all based on your perception of whether or not it is going to be racially impactful to any group. So who gets to make that determination? This is the road. This is the dangerous road you go down when you start making shit like this up. And when you start trying to base things off of identity politics and not what's best for the city as a whole. It's crazy. The city would establish a cultural diversity and a racial equality council. Ladies and gentlemen, they couldn't do this. They couldn't do this in the city realistically. That's what this third party is. That's what this group is. They established this group to do just that. That's what this Meriden Racial Justice Initiative is all about. This is their back door. And they jumped on board of it. So they can sit there and say, well, no, this isn't part of the city. This is individuals, and these are volunteers that are part of this group. But shit, when you're made up of the entire city council, the Democratic side, I mean, what the fuck? No one's stupid. I sure hope not. That they don't see what's going on. This council, this is exactly what it is. It's a backdoor. Let's go to the next one. The city would prioritize proactive diversity recruiting and hiring practices so that the city staff reflect the diversity of the city population. So, okay. So, again, no longer doing best qualified. It's what color are you? What ethnicity are you? Okay, well, Parks Department, I'm sorry. You've reached your white cap. Or you've reached your black cap. We need more Hispanics. Only Hispanics apply, please. Is that the way we really want to run our city? Is it really? Is it? No, it's not. And if this is how you want your city to be run, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. There's no other way of putting it. You are an idiot. It's crazy. There's no way hiring practices and doing diversity recruiting is not going to get you at least 30 freaking lawsuits by the end of next year. No way. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for lawsuits. You're just begging for them. The city would proactively communicate and be transparent and responsive on all issues of discrimination findings. I sure hope you are, because if this is the road you go down, you're going to have a lot of white people filing for discrimination lawsuits and grievances. Are you going to be transparent with those? I wonder. All city employees and elected officials would participate in racial equality and cultural diversity training as part of training requirements. No, I got an idea. Why don't they go and participate in training for their friggin' jobs? Do that. If you're going to spend money on training, make it to be how to do their jobs better. They don't need to have racial equality or cultural diversity training. They do not. Just treat everybody with respect and love and dignity, and you're good to go. It doesn't matter. That's universal. It's a universal thing you would normally do. Unless you are a liberal, which therefore, apparently, if you believe this stuff, you're a racist. If this is how you feel, if you feel all of this is good, you're a racist. I hate to break that to you. I hate to be the one to have to put that out to you, to open your mind to it. But that's what you are. Maybe you need to go stand in front of that mirror and look at yourself and say, why the fuck am I so miserable? I'm so miserable. I'm so miserable because of myself. I have failed myself. Because if you're sitting there as a minority in this city, I don't want you going looking into that mirror and saying, I failed. I'm no good. I need this stuff in order for me to improve my life. That's a liberal way of thinking. That's victiming. That's trying to be a victim. I want you looking in that mirror saying, I am fucking awesome. And I can do anything I want in my life if I'm willing to go put the hard work into it. That's what I want you saying in that mirror. Because I tell you what, when you make it, you're going to stand in front of that mirror and say, I did that. You're not going to have people like Barack Obama and these other liberals go out there on, you didn't create that. You didn't create that. Other people did it for you. A sense of pride. That's what I want to have you looking in the mirror and having. Not saying, oh, well, thank you, City Council, for making this opportunity for me so I could just get a job and I don't have to be really qualified for it, but damn it, I'm the right color ethnicity. Thanks, City Council. If that's the city you want, you're an idiot. All members of the police department would participate in initial and ongoing mandatory racial bias training programs, and the police department would track and report racial equality-centered statistics as part of a report to the City Council's Public Safety Committee. Well, shit, the Public Safety Committee doesn't even meet, so who cares? When was the last time the Public Safety, when the last time was Mr. Cardona holding a meeting? He held 2, and that was for quarterly reports. Other than that, he could give a shit. Nothing else matters. It doesn't even matter. He don't care. He's not holding anybody accountable. Hell, the city manager doesn't hold anybody accountable. He doesn't even hold anyone. He doesn't care. He'll advise you. You can do what you want with that advice. You can say, hey, I'm going to go do it, or you can say, hey, screw him. He ain't going to check up on me anyways. So where's the initiative? So here's my good friend, Sonia Jelks. She wasn't a majority leader back then at this point, but this resolution is a good first step in looking at ways at which we can truly be agents of change around racial discrimination and police brutality. Both of those statements, racial discrimination and police brutality in the city of Meriden, are bullshit. It's been proven over and over again, but yet she loves to peddle it because that's all she has back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the city of Meriden. Welcome to the city of Meriden. Is everybody happy with what they got now? Are you happy? Is this what you were looking for? Is this what you expected? This is what we got. This is what we got. We are partially, I'm going to say partially fucked. We're not all the way yet. We can still fix this. We need to do it now. If you could make that 10 a.m. on Wednesday, you should be there. November is huge. Like I said, we are in the bottom of the ninth. We are in the bottom of the ninth, and we are at bat. They have made their agenda very, very clear on where they stand and what they plan on doing. It's our job now to make sure that the people of Meriden are made aware of it. And each and every one of you has a responsibility and a duty to make sure that we are getting people informed on what the hell is going on. If I don't see 5,000 views on this friggin' show, I'm going to be very upset. This thing should be shared everywhere. And everybody in the city, as many people, should be seeing this. We are living in some very, very fucked up times. But we have done this to ourselves. But that ends now. That ends right here, right now. November 3rd better be a day we come back on this show with a special event that we have gotten most of these people out of office. The citizens need us. The police need us. The state really needs us because we can lead the way. Show them how it's done. So when we talk about, so we come back here on Thursday, Now, we're anticipating the mayor going to be on. So I still have that tentatively scheduled because he has not said he was not going to be on. So I will be obviously contacting him this week. So he's slated to be on Thursday. So, and we'll have to ask him some of his some questions on his comments from the initiative, his press conference, as they want to call it, and we'll see where it stands. But we'll be back here Thursday with a full recap on it. So, guys, leave here determined to make a difference. With love in your heart, because that's all you need. Love and determination to make a difference to better every single person in this city, in this state, in this country. Because we have taken a serious turn. We need to do this now. And you are part of it. So guys, as always, I love you. I will talk to you guys on Thursday. God bless this city. God bless each and every one of you. And God bless this amazing freaking country of ours. I will see you guys Thursday. Good night, farewell, and be safe.
Won't surrender, faith is like a fire that never burns to embers. The voice of the unheard, love is the answer. I gotta speak it, believe it, that's how I feel inside. I can't sit here quiet. You can take my heart, you can take my breath when you pry it from my cold dead chest. This is how we rise up, heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up, heart is beating faster, feels like thunder, magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up, it's our resistance, you can't resist us. Can you hear me? Are you listening? Sleeping and the shadows could be making history. Through the fire, on the water, used to be a slave, but now you are a conqueror. They can take my heart, they can take my breath when they pry it from my cold dead chest. This is how we rise up, heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up, heart is beating faster, feels like thunder, magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up, it's our resistance, you can't resist us. We're rising up, rising up, we're rising up, rising up, we're rising up. This is how we rise up, it's our resistance, you can't resist.